Let's talk Luka, and let's talk Kyrie, and let's talk the Dallas Mavericks. They rested. Now, I'm curious on the language here, all right? They rested 5 players in a must-win game against the Bulls. They lose by 3 points, resting players, and now they are not going to make the playoffs. I believe it marks the end of their season. What do you guys take from this? I mean, there just be some weird-ass stuff going on in the NBA. The way they handle things is so it just seems, I don't know, weird. Like, what's y'all's takeaway from that? They could have made the playoffs. It was a must-win.
It's plain and simple.
Go ahead. They tanking?
They quit.
They quit.
That's exactly what happened. They quit. If you're the Dallas Mavericks and you Mark Cuban, you acquire Kyrie Irving, but you get rid of Jalen Brunson. You don't want to pay him $50 million in salary. You think that's too much money. And he was a truly valuable asset to have on your team outside of Luka Doncic. You trade away Spencer Dinwiddie. You trade away Dorian Finney, and you acquire Kyrie, and you think that your team just got better. But if you look at it, both players, Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, they're ball-dominant players. They can't coexist together. So I didn't understand why they made this trade anyway, knowing the kind of player that Luka is. I'll get back to him in a minute. And Kyrie Irving, knowing that both of these guys are 40, 30-point guys basically every night when they step on the NBA basketball floor. And I think for the Dallas Mavericks, one of the things that really irks me about watching this basketball team, Luka Doncic he's a good player, but he'll never win a championship because he's ball dominant and he is one of the laziest defensive player you will ever witness in transition.
You don't know what defense is.
Getting up and down the floor is absolutely disgusting to watch. The man plays zero defense. I'm watching the game a couple weeks ago. They're playing against the Golden State Warriors, and he's at the free throw line. It's a pick and roll. Steph comes off the screen, and he's standing at the free throw line, and he holds his arms up like, where's the defense? And it's like, man, they ran a pick and roll. You got to go compete to at least to try to block the shot to compete with Steph Curry at the rim. He doesn't even break a step. And then on the flip side of that, he catches the ball in the post with like 1.8 seconds left in the game. He dives to the basket. They give him the ball under the basket. He misses the layup with Draymond contesting the shot. And before the ball is rebounded, he's complaining about the referee, and the ball is still on the rim. They haven't even got the rebound yet. He's walking up to the ref complaining. He is one of the laziest defensive players I've ever seen. He's a good player. But, man, let me tell you something. He is a one-side-of-the-court basketball player. And that does not make you a great player because you know what? They know, and everybody else knows, Luka Doncic is not guarding anybody. He's not playing any defense. He runs to the block on the defensive side. He gets his triple-doubles because he's on the weak side of the ball, and he gets the rebounds, and he's going to get his 10 assists, and he's going to score double-digit points. That is how his triple-doubles come so easily. It's not like he's in there actually competing with the big boys getting rebounds. He's basically cherry-picking on the weak side of the defense, grabbing the missed shots, and he's padding his stats. Oh, he has the most triple-doubles in the first 5 or 6 years of NBA history. But the man does not give any effort on the defensive end, and I don't have any respect for it.
What was odd is in a game that had so much importance to it, you announce you're sitting 5 players. For me, I'm playing in that game unless I'm really hurt. I don't care if it's a back-to-back. I'm playing in that game because if we lose, I got nothing but months to rest.
Right.
I got nothing but months to rest. So I don't understand just from that perspective alone. I don't care if it's a back-to-back. I don't care what you say. It's the technology you have is saying, oh, my body and my muscles are worn out. Okay, maybe instead of me playing 39 minutes, I'll play 30 minutes. But I'm playing in this game because we still had an opportunity. We still had a small percentage of making the play-in game. And so that is what I don't understand. But you knew when they traded Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and the picks for Kyrie, they were going to suffer on a defensive end. Now you're going to have two guys on the court that don't really play defense in Kyrie and Luka. And that's going to hurt your team. Both of them are ball dominant. Both of them are very good players. Both of them create shots for themselves and for others. But when you don't play defense, and I like Luka, I like his feistiness, I like his competitiveness. But, man, Luka going to complain at least 50 times a game.
All game
At
long.
least 50 times a game.
Tim Hardaway called him a crybaby. Said that the league should be ashamed of themselves letting Luka be as big a crybaby as he is.
I get it, though, at times, LaVar. I do get it. If you feel like you're getting fouled and they not calling it, you're going to say something, but every single time.
Not
but
every
I really
does
every
the
time you
same
miss a
thing.
basket.
Nah, LeBron don't do
LeBron
that.
is a complainer, man.
Every
Man,
time
you
Luka
ain't
misses a
watching the
basket.
game, LaVar. I'm talking
please.
Luka literally will complain. Maybe Luka ain't really complaining. He just not trying to get back on defense. So that's his way of like, I ain't going to play no defense. I'm going to complain to the ref. Like, he literally will stop, argue with the ref, and then jog back possession over, okay, we got the ball on offense. He's doing that at least 10 times a game. And so
Well,
they need to figure that out.
He did come out and say that it's hard to play hard all the time.
Of
in the
course it
NBA.
is. Of
That's
course
what he
it is.
said. I mean,
But this is the thing,
that's
though.
what he, you know.
Since Luka has come into the league, what have they always said? Oh, he showed up to training camp out of shape.
Out of shape.
He's put on weight. If you look at this season, just specifically this season, to me, just watching the games, he's looked like he's put on weight. He looked like he showed up in shape. And now as the season has progressed, he's put on weight. Dallas, they need to figure this out because Luka has played with Porzingis. It didn't work. They had Jalen Brunson, who they drafted, and they could have signed him to a deal. And they didn't even want to offer him 4 years, $55 million. He ended up getting a $100 million contract from the Knicks. They could have signed him because when Luka went out last year, he was cooking.
And he wanted to be in Dallas.
He wanted to stay. And they didn't offer him what he wanted. He ended up getting basically double that with the Knicks. You could say, oh, yeah, his dad works for the Knicks and whatever. Leon Rose was the president of the Knicks, was Jalen Brunson agent and things of that nature. But had you offered him what he wanted, he would have been there. So it didn't work with Porzingis. It didn't work with Brunson. Now it ain't working with Kyrie. And this is how it works. When you're the best player and you're a superstar like Luka, now the finger has to start getting pointed at you. Like, why is it you cannot figure out the play and play well when you have another good player next to you?
Hey, when it's all being said, at the end of the day, when Jason Kidd and Mark Cuban made the executive decision to sit Luka and Kyrie Irving and all those guys, they still have a 14% chance of winning the top pick.
Hey, we all know, you know the Mavericks,
NBA
they were just in the Western Conference Finals, right? We do know that very recently.
Yeah.
Like, it's
they can
unbelievable.
still get the first pick in the draft. They're going to be a lottery for sure. But
They ain't
there's
getting
a
the first
possibility
pick.
that they could get the first pick. You never
Yes.
know.
Possibility. You're right about that.